I'm Suky from Professional Selection. Today I'd like to talk about why giving feedback both as a candidate and as a client is really critical in the hiring process. We have all seen on social platforms such as LinkedIn, everybody blaming the recruiter. Oh, the recruiter didn't give me feedback. Well, in reality, guys, you're kind of shooting the messenger here because the recruiter is not the person that's actually giving the feedback. They are relaying the feedback. But if they have not had the feedback from either their candidate or their client, well, what can they really feedback? So it's a little unfair. So what should you do with feedback? Well, as a candidate, my expectations would be that you give feedback straight after the interview. As soon as you get into that car, send a quick text message saying, great interview, we'll explain later, or not sure about this, let's arrange a time to talk later. Because at the end of the day, even if it's negative feedback or not so positive feedback, that recruiter needs to hear this. Why? Because it's important they know this, so next time they're offering you a position, they're able to better match the role with your expectations. As a client, why is this important, and what's an acceptable time frame? Well, to me, anything longer than 24 hours is unacceptable. And the only reason I'm saying 24 hours is a lot of companies will interview a number of candidates on the same day. So we need to make allowances for that. So again, positive and negative feedback. If you're not giving that feedback, again, even if it's not positive, how do you expect your internal recruiter or your agency recruiter to be able to better represent your company and better match candidates for you? It's your branding. At the end of the day, it really does boil down to that. Think about it. If you were a candidate, would you really want to work for a company that gave you no feedback or took a week to give you feedback? To me, that's a lack of communication. And think about it, would you really want to work for that company that really doesn't bother taking that extra step? It's your branding. So what do you do about all of this? Well, you set the expectations. So again, regardless of whether you're an agency recruiter or an internal recruiter, set the expectation with your internal client that you expect both positive and negative constructive feedback within a timely manner. Set the same expectation with your candidate. As I said, at the end of the day, it's branding. It's helping educate your recruiter as to what you're really looking for, what you like in a role and what you don't like in a role. So what's the long and short of this? Stop blaming your recruiters. You need to take ownership as both the hiring manager and the candidate. You need to take ownership, start giving feedback, and you will realize that the process changes and the number of jobs the recruiter is approaching you with may go down. However, they're going to be far more aligned with your expectations. As a hiring manager, the number of candidates being submitted to yourself, again, may go down. However, the quality and the match will definitely go up. As always, I'd love to hear your feedback, so please feel free to comment below. Thanks ever so much for taking the time to listen.